I made $1 million working from my closet. No, really, my actual closet. And today, I'm gonna talk to you about the best side hustle out there and why it's way more than just a simple side hustle if you do it right, and how you can get started even if you have no idea where to begin. By the way, I'm Jesse Carroll. I've done over 2,000 voiceover commercials, narrated for History Channel and Hulu Channel, and built a voiceover business that's paid me more than $1 million in the last 7 years. And I also run VoiceOver School, where I help people go from zero to full-time and even earn six figures and beyond, and even get nominated for awards in voiceover. So I'm sure you guessed it by now, the side hustle we're talking about is voiceover. But before we get into that, let's be honest here. Why do people even look for side hustles in the first place? Most jobs suck. You're stuck in traffic, you're sitting in a cubicle, stuck with a boss who's an asshole, and you're working your ass off for someone else's dream. There's always a ceiling, and someone else decides how much you make, when you can take a break, and how far you can go in the company. Maybe the reason you're looking for a side hustle and you stumbled across this video is maybe you're not making enough money. Maybe you're bored out of your mind. Maybe you're just tired of asking for permission to live your life. I know I was. So what are most people doing these days? Most people are just trying to keep their job and tack on a side hustle so they can bank some cash, and so nobody can lord power of them, and if the job becomes too much or too shitty, they can piece out of there. Pull, shoot, bounce out. But most side hustles are just more of the same. More hours, more bosses, more bullshit. So what's the best side hustle? For me, obviously, it's voiceover. But here's the thing. If you treat it like a side hustle, you'll get side hustle results. If you treat it like a real business, it can change your life in as little as 3 to 4 hours a day, less than full-time hours. Even though I gotta tell you, I do put in pretty intense hours, but it doesn't feel like intense hours. I'll often do 10, 12-hour days, but I love it. It doesn't feel like a grind. It feels like you're following your dream and doing something fun, and time just flies by. And then your fiance comes in, drags you out of the booth. We gotta go for dinner. We're late to see my parents. Oh God. Those are the kind of problems when you have when you are doing voiceover and you work for yourself. Not the kind of BS problems you deal with when you got a boss who tells you where you gotta be, even though my fiance is definitely the boss. And here's the thing. Voiceover isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. I want to put that out there right away. It's not just talking. It's a real business, but it's also the most flexible, scalable, and creative way I've found to make a living. You don't need a fancy studio to start either. You don't get to spend thousands of dollars. I started with a rented mic and a bunch of blankets in my closet. Literally recording next to my shoes, a winter coat, put some cushions from my couch up on the wall, whatever I could to make it work. And it worked. You got to start where you can afford to start. And you don't need a ton of cash to get going in the beginning. Sure, now I've got a pro setup, costs thousands of dollars, but you start with what you can afford and you upgrade as you go. And here's the truth. It's hard work, sure, but it's worth it. If you can make it work and you can make this your career, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, you're talking by yourself in a closet all day long. How cool is that? Some of you may have been... That's weird. Let's edit that out. Perush goes, no. I'm weird if you haven't seen this before, but I know voiceover. All bullshit and fucking around inside. Here's what my day actually looks like. Whenever I'm busy because I got a baby now, I just batch my auditions every morning. I do have routines. I don't just work when I feel like it. I work throughout the day, but I get to take breaks whenever I want. I can hang out with my fiance, with my baby, my son. I can go for lunch. I can just chill. No bus, no commute, no ceiling. But you do gotta put in the work, because if you don't put in the work, everybody starves. So when it's your full-time thing, you don't have a choice. You got to go to work. But it's a pretty awesome job. You can literally not even get dressed for it. And the best part, I get to use my creativity every single day. I get to play, experiment, perform, all from home. Now, of course, this is going to sound awesome to anybody, but here's what most people don't tell you. Some months I crush it. I've been doing this for a while. Some months I make over $20,000. Some months I can make under $5,000. Feast or famine is real unless you stay consistent. So what's the remedy? You do as many auditions as you can, track everything, and be consistent. And if you treat it like a business, not a side hustle, you can build real wealth and freedom. Now, when I say treat it as a business and not a side hustle, that doesn't mean that you have to put full-time hours in. If you do, you'll get further faster. But you can definitely make a full-time income off of side hustle hours. So meaning if you have a full-time 8 to 10 hour job, you can still make voiceover work. It's harder, but you can do it. Because here's the thing, voiceover is extremely flexible. You can do it as a parent, a traveler. I've done it traveling. You can do it as a a digital nomad, and you can build skills that transfer to other careers, performance, business, tech, and vice versa. And if you stick with it, it can go from side hustle to main hustle in a really short period of time. Everybody's different, might take you a little bit longer, but it's fun. The journey's fun and it's worth it. Now, here's one thing that I didn't realize when I did start. It is lonely when you're doing it alone. VoiceOver can get really isolating. There's no water cooler talk, no coworkers, no one to celebrate the wins with except for the people you live with. You generally have no contact with your coworkers. And that is why I built VoiceOver School, because community is everything. When you're part of a group sharing information, you progress 10 times faster. You learn where people are getting work, how to get work, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You get feedback, you get support, and you have a blast doing it. Who wants to do this alone? It's way more fun with other people. And by the way, if this is the first time you're hearing about VoiceOver, this is the first time you're seeing me, dive into all my YouTube videos. I've got a ton of tutorials. I got everything on how to get started in VoiceOver, how to make a home studio, where to find work. And if you're not ready to join a community and, take this seriously, just binge my free stuff. Here's what I'd do if I was starting out today. And this is going to cost you no money. Make a free voices.com profile. I don't get any kickback for them at all. And also you can start a free one to check it out. A free Voice123 profile. Those are the two main sites where I get my work. Both free to start a profile on. Voice123, you can get work with a free profile. Voices.com, you cannot. But you get introduced to the world, you start moving in the right direction, and you generally see what kind of jobs are out there. It's a nice little introduction, costs nothing. So I do that, then I'd go to ChatGPT and tell it to spit out 30-second commercials, get like 30 of them. Start recording them, even just on your phone. Try to sound like yourself. Don't try to put on a voice. You don't want to do a voiceover voice. You want to make it sound like all the words are coming off the top of your head, like they're your own. Watch commercials on TV, on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you can hear a commercial, listen to it. Try to imitate them. Is it a good commercial? Is it a bad commercial? Is it in your face? Did you like it? Why? Ask yourself these questions. All free to do this. This is what I call the cut your teeth protocol, the get your feet wet protocol. Just start listening, recording, giving yourself a little bit of an intro and start moving in the right direction. And like I said, if you're not sure about VoiceOver, but you're interested in finding out more, this is the best way to get your feet wet, really. Just try it out and see if you like it. And here's the biggest thing. If you find that you really do love it and you want to give it a shot, you don't need to be perfect to get started. You just need to start. You can do this, even in the age of AI. There is more content than ever, and real human voices are still in demand. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you will be waiting forever. Start messy, start small, just start. I've talked to so many people that have come to me and joined my community VoiceOver School, and the vast majority of them tell me that this is a dream they've had for, sometimes 5-10 years, sometimes 20 years or longer. For the majority of people, for sure, at least 3-4 years. Don't let another year go by. If you want to get started, just start. And you don't even need me. Binge all my content. A lot of people get started that way and just start working without even paying a dime. And if you want to learn how to build a real business from your closet or your bedroom or your car, if you want, and it's soundproof, check out VoiceOver Schools. Links below, like I said. We teach you everything I wish I knew when I started. And by the way, if you're working from home and you got another side hustle going on, drop a comment below. I want to know, what are you doing? What are you side hustling from home? What are you working out of your closet in a different medium than VoiceOver? Maybe you're a director I've worked with. Hit me up in the comments below. And if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more VoiceOver and VoiceOver related content. And if you really want to do this, don't quit. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start. You can do it. Catch you in the next one.